캉캉캉.
可以讲越。这谁老公比那个？
야실이. 야, 그 19세 그 19급? 너무 좋아하는데?
All lies will be exposed.
Oh, hey, what are y'all doing here? It's late in the evening. It's Hard Lens Media, and it's not the morning. It is evening time. And look, it's very rare that I get angry like this, okay? Because you know what? I've been under a lot of stress. I've been doing a lot of projects, a lot of voice acting work, a lot of stuff here and there. And, you know, occasionally I do the Patreon show late in the evening for Patreon supporters. But you know what? This is like rage that I can't keep buried inside me. So Patreon supporters, I owe you a special exclusive video sometime next week just for you lovely, beautiful people because you keep us alive. But, you know, you may notice a thumbnail and there's a person in there saying, I love you, but you're not serious people. That's the character Logan Roy, played by the fantastic actor Brian Cox. And on the side of it are a bunch of melting down liberals as Trump is picking a tree of crying liberals. And the thing is, you know, everyone that was quote unquote in a serious position of power is melting down, crying for the fact that Biden is now leaving. People are sad that an era is ending. It's an era of incompetency that perhaps, dare I say it, as some people have said it, was designed that way to make sure that all of us can still remain subservient to the system. And, you know, we have to rage out, but we also have to point and laugh at how stupid and moronic the entire play is. And that is corporate media, the entire 4 years of the Biden-Harris administration, and what lies in store for us for the next 4 years. So first and foremost, thank you to everyone joining us this late in the evening. Kit, fell on Peace Stuff says, Kit, let us have it. Oh, and you will have it indeed. We've got, hey, Dr. Nick, good to see you in the live stream chat. We got a lot of people here joining us in the live stream chat. And folks, listen, I wouldn't be able to do this show without all of you outstanding people. And my goodness, already this early in the evening, late in the evening, Trash Panda, you gave us $2.99. Thank you so much for your generosity and super chat. And Wendy Carballo, wow, I thought it was time to sleep. Guess not quite. No, Wendy. Oh, no. No, Wendy Carballo. I'm sorry. You're not going to sleep today. Not right now. Because we got ourselves a little bit of a rage up. Because I'm furious. I'm furiously angry at quote unquote authoritative people who have decided to make themselves the guardians of our conscience, who dictate to us how we should feel now that Biden is leaving office. Fine. Then I will play that game. I will be your huckleberry. Because what better way than to start things off with everybody watching right now? Winner, winner, chicken dinner. And this is just for me because I feel like enjoying it and I feel like mocking these politicians. I feel like mocking these institutions because CNN is going under. CNN, their ratings are plummeting. And I say this not out of joy. I say this for myself because it gives me joy. As it stands, trial reveals that CNN's profit has plummeted by more than $400 million in the last year. What's going on here? Currently going on, and look, I love it. You know, I love all of this. I've had a wonderful viewer reach out to me and tag me in this. Currently going over various financial terms for jurors to understand the phase 2 into CNN's financial proceeds. CNN's finances that Axelrod referred to earlier based on the 2023 tax documents given to plaintiff. Oh, no. Oh, no. No, CNN, no. Everyone, hold on. You might not be able to see this. So I'm sorry. Hang on. I'm sorry, people. Hang on. I realize you might not be able to see all of this. In the first box here, CNN's finances that Axelrod referred to earlier, based on the 2023 tax documents given to plaintiff. CNN, are you a broke boy? Because it looks like you're a broke boy. You're not going to impress the ladies like that. What is Cable News Network Incorporated Economic Health? 2023, 1.8 billion, but yet in 2022, 2 billion. 2021, 2.2 billion. 2023 revenue per day, 4.9 million. I need all of you to understand that is not a healthy network for something of that magnitude and size. You know, when we talked about their pay cuts happening, when we talked about CNN facing financial hardship, I mean, I knew it was bad, but look at me. Look at me. And no, you may notice I'm not wearing my blazer and jacket. I'm actually in my pajamas right now because I don't care. This is pure freaking gold. Oh my God. The authoritative sources for so long after 8 years controlling the algorithm are broke. They're going under. They can't bring up the revenue. And what happened on November 5th was Trump getting reelected. CNN is losing their core audience. Now, of course, when I had my guest Jamal Thomas on and a few others, such as Larry Sharp and Spike Cohen, we talked about how people will go to other larger, quote unquote, independent media. But even though they're regurgitating the same neoliberal BS, an institution is dying before you. I promise a fun evening show for you, and I am going to deliver it to you. Just like when the Joker said in The Dark Knight, this city deserves a better class of criminal, and I'm going to give it to them. Tonight is your night, and you will get what you deserve, my lovelies. What is Cable News Networks Incorporated economic wealth? Oh, no. What's going on here? Cable News Network Incorporated net worth 2021 to 2023, starting from the top all the way to the bottom. Oh, yeah. 2023, 2.3 billion. 2022, 2.2 billion. But in 2021, $4.4 billion. Then, of course, what is Cable News Networks Incorporated economic health? Cash flow profit for 2023. Yes, this might look like a large number, but this is like seeing an open wound. Like you see somebody and they get both their legs chopped off and they're bleeding out of their arteries. 424.9 million. Breathe in, breathe out. Breathe in, breathe out. Everybody breathe, breathe. And let's get ready to laugh as a family. Hang on. Just so you guys can see it. Sorry if you didn't see it right there. There it is. From 2023, going from 2.3 billion, 2022, 2.2 billion, and 2021, 4.4 billion. Oh no. Oh, what happened, lovely? And of course, now their cash flow down to 424.9 million. What happened? What happened? What happened to their show? And now, wait, everybody stop. This is how you know things are really bad. CNN to shift Wolf Blitzer to the mornings in massive shakeup at embattled network. Oh, Wolfie, no. Ratings challenge CNN will reportedly move veteran anchor Wolf Blitzer to a new slot. Oh, no. Wolfie saying it so in the mornings as part of a wider reshuffle by the embattled cable news pioneers boss Mark Thompson. CNN, when, Caitlin Collins was interviewing Trump for that town hall way back in 2024, and I want to give a huge shout out to my friend and colleague, Nick Cruz of RBN, because I actually co-hosted when RBN was covering that town hall. So many people were triggered that CNN had him on the show, on that that little town hall. But that was like a ratings boost for you guys. And you desperately need ratings boosts. But something tells me that the ride is over and the music's going to stop. Extinction level event is knocking at the door for CNN. This was not on my bingo card. Am I happy that I'm giving this present? Absolutely. Let us feast on this story. The 76-year-old blitzer. Oh, 76, hey, it's a nice time, right? One of the network's longest tenured anchors and current host of the Situation Room at 6 p.m. will be teamed with Pamela Brown on a new morning show, sources told Status Newsletter on Thursday. The shakeup could also include frequent Donald Trump antagonist Jim Acosta being bounced as anchor of CNN Newsroom at 10 a.m., the sources said. Wolfie, no. Thompson, the former BBC and New York Times head honcho, who was brought in by Warner Bros. Discovery CEO David Zaslav to right the ship at CNN, may also shift pre-dawn anchor Casey Hunt to the afternoons, according to the newsletter written by former CNN media analyst Oliver Darcy. CNN declined to comment when contacted by the Post. Oh, CNN. I might miss you. Like, like a pain in my foot. Blitzer recently signed a new multi-year deal with CNN, while Brown currently leads CNN's 11 a.m. programming during the week. It is unclear whether the new Blitzer-Brown pairing in the morning will adopt Blitzer's signature Situation Room branding or debut under a different name. Nonetheless, the reported change means Blitzer's screen time will increase by an hour. Oh, because that's what all of you people need, right? More Wolf Blitzer. Hold on. Let's have democracy in the evening. Folks, is this what you want? More Wolf Blitzer? More Wolf Blitzer? Please, everybody. If this is what you want, type 1 for yes. Give me that wolf. No pun intended. Type 2. No, Kit. We wish to feast and cry and dance and sing upon the grave of CNN. Now I wonder truly how many 2s will be in the chat. Please, folks, not all at once. Don't bombard us with too much voting. It may hurt. It may hurt. It may hurt us. But hold on. By the way, Jim Acosta losing his show and Post. Oh, we're only getting started. We're only getting started here, people. And in case for all the people who watch Hardlands Media, folks, listen. It's only going to get better here. I promise you. It will get better, so much better here. CNN, okay, considering it, the decision to shift Blitzer, who was recently mocked on social media for his outdated television setup, to mornings, allows CNN to keep one of its most respected anchors. Hold on. Oh, I'm sorry. Hold on. Wait, I got to get serious here, Kit. Get serious. I'm sorry, I was unprofessional there for a moment. The decision to shift Blitzer, who was recently mocked on social media for his outdated television setup, to mornings allows CNN to keep one of its most respected anchors on air, while also gradually transitioning him out of the evening lineup. But a change means CNN will have to tweak the rest of its lineup by cutting an hour of programming. Oh, no. One scenario being considered under discussion is moving Hunt, the former MSNBC anchor and Associated Press scribe, from early mornings to 4 p.m., a move that would elevate her profile significantly. Oh, my goodness, look at her. Oh, my good. Casey Hunt. Can you handle the big seat? Hunt, who currently pulls down a salary north of $1 million per year, hosts CNN's This Morning, which airs daily from 5 a.m. to 7 a.m. My show's more popular than yours. F off, CNN. Giving Hunt a high-profile afternoon slot aligns with the network's strategic priorities, though it may create internal competition with other anchors eyeing a similar position. Fight. Say it with me. Fight. I would love to see these anchors fight each other. If Hunt takes over at 4 p.m., CNN would shift Jake Tapper's show, The Lead, to a 5 p.m. to 7 p.m. block, placing him closer to prime time, according to Status. CNN would then need to confront the question of who replaces Hunt in the mornings. According to Status, one possibility being floated is a split-hour arrangement with business correspondent Rael Solomon anchoring 5 a.m. and former NPR host Audie Cornish handling 6 a.m. To accommodate Blitzer and Brown's 2-hour morning program, CNN needs to find an additional hour in its schedule. One potential casualty is Acosta's show. Oh no, people aren't consuming the Trump derangement BS. No, duh, of course, because again, no one's consuming that crap anymore. Another option could be reducing CNN Central from 3 hours to 2 hours, but the low cost of producing the show makes it more likely that Acosta's programming would be the casualty. Oh, Acosta, I'm sorry, man. The network is also considering other changes to its programming, including expanding Aaron Burns' nightly show, according to Status. CNN's ratings have declined significantly following Trump's recent election victory, and I am only laughing at them. In 2024, the network averaged 92,000 viewers in the key 25 to 54-year-old demographic, making a 1% drop from its previous year's low, and 77,000 during primetime, a 52% decline from the prior year. Overall, primetime viewership fell by 45% to 405,000 viewers. Now, in contrast, look, Fox News is sticking it right up their wazoo, but there's another reason that CNN is also struggling. Remember that legal case I brought up? I want to pull this up here, just so all of you can see this. CNN found liable in $5 million defamation suit against to a United States Navy veteran. Just want to pull this up here. CNN made an oopsie.
I understand that the jury's reached a verdict. Is that correct?
Pardon me?
I said I understand y'all have reached a verdict.
We have.
All right. You have the verdict form with you?
I do.
Can you hand that to the bailiff, please?
I will.
Wait for it. Wait for it.
Clerk to publish a verdict.
In the Circuit Court of the 14th Judicial Circuit in Fort Bay County, Florida, case number 22608CA, Zachary Young plaintiff versus Cable News Network Inc. defendant. Verdict form number 1. Do you find by the greater weight of the evidence that defendant CNN committed defamation per se against plaintiff Zachary Young? Yes. Number 2,
Oof.
do you find by the greater weight of the evidence that defendant CNN committed defamation by implication against plaintiff Zachary Young? Yes.
Oof.
Number 3, what is the total amount of plaintiff Zachary Young's damages for both lost earnings in the past and for the loss of his earning capacity in the future, reduced by the amount that plaintiff could have earned from comparable employment? $4 million. Number 4, what is the total amount of plaintiff Zachary Young's damages for pain and suffering, mental anguish, inconvenience, injury to reputation, and loss of capacity for the enjoyment of life that he sustained in the past and that he has sustained for the future? $1 million. Number 5, do you find by clear and convincing evidence that punitive damages are warranted against defendant CNN? Yes. Date, January 17, 2025, signed by the foreperson.
Okay. Yep. All right.
So just so you guys know, and I think it's very apropos because CNN even covered it themselves, CNN settles with U.S. Navy veteran after defamation verdict. So CNN settled a lawsuit brought by a U.S. Navy veteran over a 2021 segment on evacuations in Afghanistan on Friday, hours after a jury found the network liable for defaming him. Excuse me. A 2-week trial was held in Bay County, Florida. The jury awarded veteran Zachary Young $5 million in compensation damages. Following the verdict, the 2 parties settled the case as the punitive damage phase was underway. The details of the settlement were not made public. We remain proud of our journalists and are 100% committed to strong, fearless, and fair-minded reporting at CNN, though we will, of course, take what useful lessons we can learn from this case, as CNN spokesperson said in the statement. So that's what CNN wrote, right? That's what CNN wrote. But there's more to this, okay? Because CNN failed miserably at this. See, what they did as an institution, as an organization, plaintiff Zachary Young sued CNN in 2022, accusing the Warner Bros. Discovery unit of destroying his reputation. A segment on The Lead was Jake Tapper, Jakey, saying ain't so, by branding him as a profiteer who exploited desperate Afghans by charging exorbitant fees. CNN stood by its story and denied defaming Young. So the network said in March 2022 that it regretted using the term black market to describe Young's work. A CNN representative said the network remains proud of its journalists, but will, of course, take what useful lessons we can learn from the case. The representative declined to offer the details of the deal. Young's lawyer, Veld Freeman, said in a statement that he was very pleased to clear Young's name, obtain punitive damages, and settle the case. Young, wearing a dark suit and blue tie, smiled as Henry thanked the lawyers for their work before dismissing them. The case stems from Young's work as a security consultant, helping corporations and charities extract people from Afghanistan after the Taliban swiftly took back control following the chaotic U.S. withdrawal. In a segment on The Lead, CNN said desperate Afghans trying to escape the country were being exploited with exorbitant and impossible fees charged for evacuations. The segment turned to focus on Young displaying his name and photo next to a siren saying evacuees face perilous black market. The sum of substance and segment states implies that Young marketed evacuations directly to Afghan citizens and that he exploited Afghan citizens and he sold them illegal goods and services on the black market. And of course, CNN didn't do its due diligence, and they said they were proud of their story, but they didn't really do any true follow-through. So that's the problem with CNN. And so in that case, by the way, they're short on cash. Exactly it. Mastermind Hour. They were short on cash, so they signed over CNN Plus to him. That's not funny, but it kind of is. And speaking of CNN Plus, because if I can kick CNN while it's down, oh, you better believe that we will pull out that Coca-Cola Classic for all of you lovely people to see firsthand. Why not? Because it's okay to make fun of these people because they're not serious. CNN, The View, MSNBC, and all these vote blue no matter who jagoffs, because we're only beginning here. If you're tuning in now, hit that like button because we're kicking them while they're down.
Everybody knows by now that CNN's hitting rock bottom. Their ratings have hit record lows. Chris Cuomo was fired. Jeff Zucker forced out.
By the way, this video came out in 2022. Shout out to Case Study QB.
Brian Stelter's days are numbered, reportedly, and we can see why. His show last week getting 56,000 viewers in the demo. Now, for context, I was going to name shows that rate higher than that, but we don't have time. I'd have to read you the entire TV guide. But when it rains, it pours. Not only has CNN lost viewers, they've lost what little respect they ever had. When CNN approached Republican candidate for Arizona governor, Kari Lake, things didn't go well. Watch.
Hi, Kari. Hi.
I love this. And if you love it, you'll give it a thumbs up.
Hey, nice to see you. You don't have a mask on anymore. What's going on?
We're outside. Do you have a minute to
well,
chat?
we're 6 feet apart.
Do you have a minute to chat?
I'll do an interview.
Okay.
As long as it airs on CNN Plus.
Listen. I would never support Kari Lake, but it's one of these situations right here where it's like, oh, come on, Kari. You didn't have to be that mean. Because you see her talk and like right there, she's like, hold on. She's like, listen, like, okay, I'm listening. And oh, no. She hears the answer and whoop. There you go. Can't handle it. So there you go. Hold on. Rewind time.
Well, we're 6 feet apart.
Do you have a minute to chat?
I'll do an interview.
Okay.
As long as it airs on CNN Plus.
At this point, CNN Plus is already gone. $250 million down the toilet. I mean, give me $250 million. I'll show you what I could do with it.
Does that still exist? I didn't think so because the people don't like what you guys are peddling, which is propaganda. Thank you.
Oof. I'm sorry, but oof. 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 And it's funny to me. But why am I saying this is only the beginning? Now, I can't play the video because I'm willing to bet we'll get hit with some form of copyright strike. But douchebag Stephen Colbert decided to do a little bit of a rambling. He decided to do a little crying, making everybody feel sorry for him. Stephen Colbert on Trump's tech pro buddies, the guys that Biden warned us about. Okay? So this douchebag, Stephen Colbert, wants to warn all of you that this could be it and that, oh no, his show could be over. On The Late Show, Stephen Colbert said that tonight would represent the end of an era and that this is our last show of the Biden administration. Remember how this dude was dancing and tell everybody to take the vaccine? Biden's farewell speech warned of the growing tech industrial complex, yet Colbert joked that delivering it in your trademark low power mode whisper ramble robbed it of essential urgency. At Trump's upcoming inauguration, Elon Musk, Jeff Bezos, Mark Zuckerberg will be sitting up in front alongside politicians. Sweet Jesus in a skybox. That is the most corrupt appearing thing I've ever heard. Well, gee, I mean, I can only remember how long ago when people were, especially in the vote blue no matter who sphere, were cheering on Jeff Bezos to take on Trump. I mean, you think I forgot that? You think we forgot how the Biden administration and how many people in the alphabet agencies, 3-letter name agencies, were influencing and worming their way into social media such as Facebook and Twitter at the time? He added, if we're going to go full Roman Empire, at least throw Denzel Washington in there. No, I have not seen the sequel to Gladiator, and I don't intend to. Gladiator never needed a sequel. That was dumb. It was dumb and stupid. Anyways, my own personal opinion. He referred to the three of them as pasty money buckets and said that with Amazon sucking up to Trump, he might consider not needing the same day shipping now. He continued, these are the guys that Biden warned us about. Colbert then showed viewers the two portraits that had been taken of Trump and his vice president, J.D. Vance. While displaying Vance's picture, he joked, I love how that blue tie brings the color out of his dead soul. On Jimmy Kimmel Live, the host also spoke about Biden's speech, remarking that at 18 minutes long, it's also the amount of time it takes the president to pee. Jimmy, quit crying. He said it was more like a stern talking to Dennis speech, with the outgoing president warning of threats to democracy. Basically, his message was, I'm getting the hell out of here, and you should too. Fox News host decided to focus on the fact that Biden was sitting on a pillow the whole time, which led Kimmel to wonder who they will spend their time attacking once he's gone. I guess it's back to the gay M&Ms, he said. That's not funny. Who's writing this? Does anybody even watch late night TV? This week also saw Trump appoint 3 Hollywood ambassadors, Mel Gibson, Jon Voight, and Sylvester Stallone, a.k.a. Braveheart, Rambo, and the Midnight Cowboy. That's great. Hey, listen, I'm not expecting much from this administration, but I'm also not expecting much from anyone else that's involved in social media. I know, sorry to put her up here. You want to see quote unquote liberals meltdown? Here's Joy.
So I miss him already. I miss him. He's a good person. You know, he spent the last 50 years caring about the country. This other one spent 50 years scamming everybody, you know, and trying to stay out of jail. You know who I'm talking about. You know, I really miss Biden. I feel like we were...
Let's see, scamming everybody, trying to stay out of jail. That's Biden's 50 years in politics. You know, Joe Biden, who was against busing and desegregation. Joe Biden, who wrote the crime bill. Joe Biden, who was against a woman's right to choose. Joe Biden, who voted for the war in Iraq. Joe Biden, who said he'd gladly prostitute himself to corporations. Joe Biden, who talked down and berated to Anita Hill. Joe Biden, who, again, as we learned in 2020, thanks to heroic women like Tara Reid and a few others who stepped forward to say that Biden has had a long history of being aggressive and assaulting women. You know, that's the guy that so many liberals want to stick their neck out for. I mean, look, I know Bernie was a nutless wonder, but my goodness, the vote blue no matter whose sphere was that really your best champion? Was that the best you can do? Says a lot about their judgment of character.
Safe. Like I didn't have to worry. Was everything going to blow up? I could live my life while he was there. Now every day I wake up and I worry, what is this guy going to do next?
Yeah.
And these oligarchs. Can I just say one more thing and then I'll shut up?
No. You don't have to shut
Great, shut up.
up.
They need to start shelling their money out. These guys, Bezos and what's
They
his name?
do for
Musk. They give it to Trump.
Yeah.
Do they think that they're going to live
Zuckerberg.
forever? These people, you know, everybody dies. I hate to break it to them, but you are not going to live forever. According to the World Food Program, we could end world hunger by 2030.
Oh, you're talking about this now? Gee, under the 4 years of Biden, we were told we got to be pragmatic. Whenever I hear the word pragmatic, I see crap coming out of a person's mouth. Like how all the people were saying that Hillary Clinton is pragmatic. She's so pragmatic. Pragmatic, my rear end.
With $40 billion. That's all it would take. And he, Elon Musk, his net worth grew by $170 billion in the month after the election.
Oh, just wait.
Yeah.
Just
and it just
wait.
keeps making more and more money, and nothing is done with that money to help people. It's just to increase their power.
Yes, of course. And don't forget, a lot of people gave Joe Biden money. But you know, hey, nobody tell Joy this. Biden considered pardoning Trump. NBC. Comments reportedly came after Trump won the 2024 election. I know. Liberals. Hold on. Wait. Everybody. There's probably going to be some liberal trolls in the chat. You know, and I listen. I miss our liberal trolls, all right? Scuffapone and Hero, come home. We miss you. Come home to us. Come home. The family's waiting for you. But for those liberals who want to wag their finger at me and say, oh, how dare you, Kit? How dare you take joy in this? Why are you so obnoxious? It's because I want to. It's because I want to be. It's because you deserve it. And if you think that I should apologize, here's what I think about it.
And here's what I think about it.
Precisely. So, who says I don't have class? Outgoing U.S. President Joe Biden reportedly thought about pardoning his successor, Donald Trump, before leaving the office. NBC News reported, citing a White House source. Trump faced a flurry of federal felony charges levied by Biden's Department of Justice in the run-up to the 2024 election, which he described as potential persecution intended to prevent him from returning to office. Joe Biden privately mused about the idea of pardoning Trump after his victory in the 2024 election, a magnanimous move, NBC reportedly reported on Friday, citing a person directly familiar with his comments who wished to remain anonymous. However, a White House official said to our knowledge, this was not raised. Probably because Joe Biden had a Joe Biden moment. The federal cases against Trump had already become untenable after the U.S. Supreme Court ruling on presidential immunity in July. Trump went on to win the popular vote and the Electoral College in November, sweeping all swing states to defeat Vice President Kamala Harris. Biden officially won the 2020 election with the most ever votes in U.S. history. Trump contested the vote, claiming rampant irregularities under the cover of the COVID-19 pandemic measures. Biden initially pledged to be a one-term president and pass the job on to Harris, but only decided to run for re-election. Democrats pressured him to bow out of the campaign in July after Trump survived an attempt on his life. Biden eventually endorsed Harris to replace him. But isn't that sad? Isn't that sad and pathetic? But you want to know what's really sad? See, as I covered on this early show, Biden knew what was happening in Gaza, as did all of his other representatives in his administration. Biden also could have stopped the 2020 war in Ukraine from taking place, but they didn't. But do you want to see how pathetic the vote blue, no matter whose sphere is? Biden administration officials getting standing ovations as they leave their jobs forever. Lloyd Austin, Merrick Garland, and Janet Yellen were all praised as they left the buildings. Hey, liberals, I love you, but you are not serious people. this it? This was your plan? This was your plan the whole time. This was it. These people, they're getting standing ovations as the entire system is collapsing. They're getting standing ovations as they're being praised as heroes. I will never, so long as I live, put any of my soul, heart, or mind in trying to help the Democrats. And I regret any kind word I ever said about Bernie Sanders. I regret any kind word I ever said about the squad. I regret any kind of vote I ever did for the Democrats before truly being awoken to the madness that is in the Democratic Party. Case in point, again, we're going to take a little pause here. We're going to pause for a second. Pause here, my outstanding people here. Because we are going to hit the pause button. Because I do want to acknowledge some super chats here that we got. First of all, I wasn't expecting this. First of all, Trash Panda, thank you so much for the $2.99. Thank you so much. We got Aspen Fallen. My sick day got better with an extra dose of Kit Kat. That's right. And Ocasta these nuts. Ha ha ha, says Aspen Fallen. Well, Aspen Fallen, listen. You tipped me money. And I never forget when you once sent me a super chat saying that, hey, those are pants tips. So there you go. While they're not jeans, they are sweatpants. So, folks, technically, theoretically, I am still wearing pants. It's just a late evening show. Okay? There you go. Everybody calm down here. Everybody calm down for one quick second here. Tiberius Monk tipped $10. Oh, my goodness gracious, Cretaceous. This is a motivational message for Hard Lens Media. Thank you. I could use some motivation. It's been a very tough 2 months for me. Speak out loudly against a two-party duopoly. Don't let those under Trump derangement syndrome crush your soul. Never give up. Never surrender. Let's go. Tiberius Monk, I'm calling you out directly, though. Did you get to season 2, episode 8? Remember, your assignment is you're going to pretend to be Logan Roy. And I just want you to think about what you're going to see. If you get to season 2, episode 8, episode titled Dundee, it is a work of art. And when I showed it to Daniel, even he was impressed. He was thoroughly impressed. That's all I'm going to say. That's all I'm going to say, Tiberius. You have been challenged. Also, Joseph D. tipped $5. Take that, Democrats. Joseph gave me his $5. You'll never get it, Democrats. The show this morning was hella good. I'm just saying. Peace. Yes. First of all, I've had a lot of great guests on my show. Misty Winston, outstanding guest. Larry Sharp, Matt Weinglass, Spike Cohen. Matt, if you're watching, please be safe out there, brother. And, of course, want to give a shout-out to Jamal Thomas and Sama Sawant. It was great having all these guests on my programming, and I just want to just say, folks, I'm reaching out to more people to be guests on the show. And, yes, I am going to try and get Spike Cohen and Jamal Thomas back on the show again because there's a lot I want to talk about with those two again. And a lot of you were really impressed with the first 2 interviews, so I'm going to try and make that happen. But for those interviews, this is something that I need to share with all of you. Please, if you haven't seen them, give it a like, comment, share those videos on social media because I think the jackboot of censorship is kind of on my neck. So a little help for your old friend Kit Kat. But please do that for all your favorite content creators in independent media because I see that jackboot coming from the horizon. And of course, whoa, a couple other YouTube super chats. Russ, fun bad tip $2. Russ be like, Kit, why are you a Kit Kat bar? Russ be like, Kit, why are you a Kit Kat bar? What, you talking about Russell? Who? Which Russ? Kit, why are you a Kit Kat bar? Well, all right, fun bad. You want to hear a fun story? Because we're gonna take a little short break here because I'm gonna talk to you, my audience. Okay, so if somebody wants to ask me a question, fine, go ahead. But I'm gonna give you a fun little story. So every job that I've been at, and at least every time in school, I always got that nickname Kit Kat, right? It's like it's water off a duck's back. If you think you're going to say, oh, hey, Kit Kat, like get to the end of the line, right? So as you all know, I worked at Costco. But see, I was kind of expecting to be called Kit Kat right away. But then again, I worked the early morning shift. I woke up at 3:30 in the morning and my shift started like around 5 o'clock. So yeah, I had to travel and go to Costco early in the morning. So the reason why things look good at my Costco, because I gave it the Kit Kat special. And so my area in which I stocked, at least for my first 3 years, was the candy aisle. For 8 months, and this is the longest record. I wasn't called Kit Kat until we got this huge delivery. We had to rearrange the entire area. And then one of my friends, I will leave him anonymous, looked at this big box of Kit Kats that we were putting on a pallet. And he said, hey, Kit, I didn't know you were a billionaire. And I looked at him and I said, what do you mean? He says, you own the Kit Kat Corporation. And I smiled at him. And I said, 8 months. And he said, what do you mean? I said, it took 8 months for somebody to call me Kit Kat. Longest it's been. That record hasn't been broken. So if you think you're going to call me Kit Kat, it's like, get to the end of the line. Get to the end of the line here, folks. And also Aspen Fallen, Pants Tip, hashtag Kit Simp. Well, you know what? I think I'll do it like an OnlyFans thing, but not be like that lady who took on 1,000 dudes. Jesus, holy cow! There you go. Not officially pants, but sweatpants. So there you go. You did? Oh my God! Tiberius Monk tipped $2. Kit, I finished Succession season 2. Dundee was great. T to the M-O-F-N-K. L to the OG. All right. Everyone chill. And Dr. Nick says only pants. Absolutely. Only pants indeed. Only pants indeed. All right. See, this is why I love my audience. This is why I love all of you here. And also Kinky too. Hey, hold on. Tipped $10 on Rumble. Thank you for that generosity. Thank you. And Miss Witchy Perfect, you're asking, is there a show on Monday? Yes, there's going to be a show on Monday. Kinky, you tipped $10. Congratulations, Kit, for surviving the last 4 miserable, frightening years. 2020 was okay. 2021 was a headache. 2022 was meh. 2023, I could do us out. 2024, I could definitely do us out. 2025 is the big question mark. So, yeah. And I actually counted 5 years instead of 4. So, anyways. All right. Anyways. But yes, thank you, Miss Witchy Perfect. Thank you, everybody. But I could do us out. 2023 and 2024 in more ways than one. In more ways than one, indeed. Definitely, indeed. That's sweet. Dr. Nick on Kick says F all the way off CNN and Commercial Herschel. By the way, everybody, if you're not following us on Discord or joining us on Discord, real quick, I want to pull this up here. This is our Linktree. If you haven't seen it already, and folks, I'm not done yet. This live stream isn't done yet, okay? If you haven't seen this already, this is our Linktree. It's in the description box below. Commercial Herschel actually has wrote his own book, and I was given the honor and privilege of actually being one of the people to write a foreword in it. And I know you gave me a shout out on a program that you were recently on. Thank you so much for that opportunity. So if you want to join our Discord, you could find a link. Herschel actually dropped a link in there for all the people in there. So look, I want to see my people succeed. I love it when I see my people succeed. So that goes for all of you. So Hirsch, thank you again for giving me that opportunity, and I'm glad to be there. So anyways, these are all our links: YouTube channel, X, Rumble, In the Jungle, Kick, Discord, Patreon, because we could use the help, PayPal, and Hot Lens Media on Instagram. And hey, look, we're even on Facebook. So what do you know? All that good stuff and more. But now, folks, we're gonna go ahead and push forward, because it's the hits just keep on coming. The hits just definitely keep on coming. And what are you doing for the inauguration? I'm gonna pour some whiskey in my coffee. That's what I'm gonna do. I mean, at this point, I am going to at least give it the much due respect that it's going to get, but I will see what I can do, all right, for that morning show, because there's going to be a lot to talk about for the inauguration for Donald Trump. So we will see what is up. We shall see what is happening. No special stream. I didn't say that, BW. I didn't say that, but this requires organization, and the key word is planning. So there you go. But now we will, and Salty Digital Dive. Be safe. We're gonna now go back to our programming, because folks, you got to know about oligarchs. You got to beware of oligarchy, such as people like Joe Biden giving that warning of oligarchs.
In 1961, outgoing Republican President Dwight Eisenhower delivered his farewell address to the nation, as all presidents do. But as a former World War II general and the outgoing commander-in-chief, his included quite a prescient warning.
In the councils of government, we must guard against the acquisition of unwarranted influence, whether sought or unsought, by the military-industrial complex. The potential for the disastrous rise of misplaced power exists and will persist. We must never let the weight of this combination endanger our liberties or democratic processes. We should take nothing for granted.
I think it's fair to say history has since vindicated Eisenhower.
Yeah, of course, because BSDNC, you guys went to bat for the military-industrial complex. And, of course, they have Trump and Elon Musk there in the back. But is anyone going to talk about how Biden or Obama or Clinton helped contribute to the military-industrial complex? Is anyone going to talk about how good old Joe Biden's former boss, Barack Obama, led us from 2 wars to 7? And we're going to talk about how Obama got rid of habeas corpus and those kids in cages. And we're going to talk about that? No, we're not. But we're going to focus on Trump, and I get it. Trump's president. But remember, to quote that lesson that Homer Simpson gave his son, it was like that when I got here. Trump, in theory, can argue the same thing too. Hey, all this, it was like it when I got here.
But at the time, this warning shocked people. The so-called military-industrial complex spent the following 6 days consolidating power and influence in Washington to an extent that is, I think, genuinely damaging both to our democracy and our foreign policy. But last night, President Joe Biden delivered a farewell address of his own, and in an explicit nod to Eisenhower, offered a scorching warning about the new concentration of power we are seeing unfold before our eyes.
Today, an oligarchy is taking shape in America of extreme wealth, power, and influence that literally threatens our entire democracy, our basic rights and freedoms, and a fair shot for everyone to get ahead. I'm equally concerned about the potential rise of a tech industrial complex that could pose real dangers for our country as well.
I got to say, it was genuinely wild to hear Joe Biden describe an oligarchy from the Oval Office. It's a word that Bernie Sanders has been using for decades, the type of thing you usually hear from the mouths of folks, I would say, further to the left than Joe Biden.
Well, he's only using it as a way to trigger people, to get people mentally unsound, and also shepherd them back to the Democrat Party. See, the Democrat Party is based on fear. And I've given this warning about infiltrators. I talked about those with Sam Sawant. Hell, I even talked about those with Nick Thompson when I had him be a special guest co-host. And he's the one who came up with the phrase of parades, not protests, but parades in front of Trump Tower. You know, those parades, those infamous protests, but they really are parades. All what they were was parading people back to being subservient to the Democratic Party that's never going to fight for Medicare for all, never going to fight for student debt forgiveness, but more than happy to take that billionaire donor money. You know, those billionaires who are, controversial statement here, in a 3, 2, and an Uno, are oligarchs in their own right.
And in short, it just means rule by a very, very small group of very, very wealthy folks. As journalist Brian Stelter notes, searches for the term spiked last night. The Associated Press even published an explainer of what exactly oligarchy is. And it's
the fact, You had Bernie Sanders talk about it, and you didn't pay attention to that nutless wonder.
Just not a word you hear applied very often in this country, at least not by the nation's most powerful politicians. I think Americans, when they do think about oligarchs, tend to think about what has emerged in the post-Soviet states like Russia, where leaders are surrounded by a handful of obscenely wealthy men who effectively control entire industries, act with total impunity, with the explicit or implicit permission of the actual government. These kinds of governments, basically without exception, make lives miserable for their citizens because they destroy the mechanisms of democratic feedback that allow for flourishing nations.
This man is projecting. It's what we've been living under the past, I don't know, countless decades, starting from Ronnie Boy Reagan up until now. Did you hear that? Did you hear all of that? So undermining our institutions of democracy, making lives miserable for us. Hold on. I just got to know. Maybe I'm going crazy. Maybe it's official. I am going crazy. Hold on. Say it again, sir. Starting from the beginning.
Full politicians. I think Americans, when they do think about oligarchs, tend to think about what has emerged in the post-Soviet states like Russia, where leaders are surrounded by a handful of obscenely wealthy men who effectively control entire industries, act with total impunity, with the explicit or implicit permission of the actual government. These kinds of governments, basically without exception, make lives miserable for their citizens because they destroy the mechanisms of democratic feedback that allow for flourishing nations.
So in other words, what you and I have been living under, you know, Democratic and Republican politicians listening to their owners, I mean, corporate donors. Sorry about that. A little bit of a Freudian slip there, but they are owned by the donors. They in turn write legislation to benefit their corporate overlords, who in turn have the media portray a narrative, tell a narrative to keep all of you subservient. So it's what we've been under. This isn't anything new. So when you see some liberal crying and saying, oh no, we're under an oligarchy, just hug them and say, first time. First time.
They concentrate power, which in turn leads to abuses of power, as President Biden warned last night. It's that very concentration of power, in fact, that many of the most influential framers of our Constitution most feared. In Federalist 47, James Madison warned, the accumulation of all powers in the same hands, whether of one, a few, or many, may justly be pronounced the very definition of tyranny.
No one wants to talk about how you had to be a landowner to vote. No one talks about how overall in the early days of this republic, it really wasn't all inclusive, as a lot of people want to say. I mean, look, nothing's perfect. I get it. But, listen. Everything is trial and error here. But the problem is that what we're under now, even the founding fathers would be like, geez, what's wrong with you people?
Well, Donald Trump very clearly, explicitly, constantly says this, wants to concentrate all the power around him. And his billionaire tech bro buddies appear to be down with this plan as long as they get to be in the inner circle. I think they want to be American oligarchs.
First Amendment says, warn us about AIPAC next. Hold on, folks. I can't wait for that MSNBC segment, if that's ever greenlit. Hey, guys, did you know AIPAC has bought most of our congressional representatives? Did you know this? Yeah, we knew.
This week, we got word that Apple CEO Tim Cook will join the ranks of the billionaires at Trump's inauguration. This isn't just like, oh, it's...
Well, wait a minute. That's a TikTok CEO. What's he doing there? What you doing there, buddy? TikTok's not going to be allowed here.
Great, peaceful transfer. Like, they're showing up. When you show up to inauguration, you're like, yeah, that's my dude, okay? He's going to be there along with Amazon's Jeff Bezos and Meta's Mark Zuckerberg and OpenAI's Sam Altman, among others. Elon Musk, naturally, will be at the inauguration as well. He won't be getting sworn in, but he is basically already operating as Trump's co-president with his own independent authority. And this is not like some meme. I mean, he's calling the shots with congressional budget negotiators. He'll be working within the White House complex. Apparently, he's already running off the books prisoner swap negotiations with Iran. To be clear, in my humble view, a handful of unelected tech billionaires should not be running the country just because they're giving lots of money to Donald Trump and fawning over him. And all this might seem abstract now, like who really cares? There's lots of rich people who influence American policy, true. Lots of rich donors, true. But there are many things these men, and they are all men, want from.
Okay, so what's the deal? All right, so they all got wang bones. Notice how MSNBC was quick to go to that. How dare you assume their gender, MSNBC?
This government. The process of governing, of democratic governance, is about managing the conflict endemic to human affairs. And in managing that conflict, it is about prioritizing competing interests between different people, different groups of people, different factions. And when it comes down to a scenario where there is a competing interest between what's good for Jeff Bezos or Mark Zuckerberg or Elon Musk and what's good for you.
So in other words, when Biden told those union workers, for the railroads, when he told them to shut up and get back to work, that wasn't him using his power. When it came down to all these activists and organizers who were protesting for workers' rights, and the Biden-Harris administration dismissed them, I mean, were they really looking out for them? Because as the waning days, and listen, it's going to be over very soon. I mean, today's the 17th. Then you got Saturday and Sunday. And then on Monday, Hard Lens Media, it'll be the 20th. The inauguration of one Donald Trump will happen and will take place and is going to take front and center. It's going to be a change. But during these 4 years, did anything improve under Biden or Kamala? And the answer is no, it didn't. People still struggle to make ends meet. People were working 2 or 3 jobs just to make ends meet. Owning a home, running a small business, good luck.
Who do you think is going to win that fight? Today, in an exclusive interview with Lawrence O'Donnell, President Biden reiterated how fearful he is for the future of American democracy.
When you got up from that desk last night, that was really the final big public moment in a 50-year political career. Yeah, that's how long it was.
He's probably thinking, oh, wait, I remembered all those 50 years I screwed over the American people, and I was part of the neoliberal system, and all those suckers voted for me. That's what he's probably laughing at. Perfect time to pause. Pause.
Served in government longer than any person who's ever served in this job. What did that feel like at the end of that speech? We were pushed out of the room as people were surrounding you, hugging you, and as that emotion was filling the room. But was there a sense of the release of a burden getting up from that desk?
No, but there was a sense that of serious concern. You know me a long time. I really am concerned about how fragile democracy is. That sounds corny, but I mean, I really am concerned because you've heard me say it 100 times. I really think we're at an inflection point in history here. We're unrelated to any particular leader. Things are going to change drastically.
You can catch the rest of the interview on.
No, we will not catch the rest of the interview. We won't do that. Oh, absolutely not. I won't. Because you know what's sad on this entire administration? All these decisions that were being made. Who was the final person making the final note? As we look back and reflect on the 4 years of Biden, we know that he was never mentally sound. We know that he was never there. And then, of course, oh my goodness, those same oligarchs now, those same billionaires, asking Stephanie Ruhle if she sensed the resentment from billionaires that was building over the Biden years. Labor in the last 4 years got more power. Wait, hold on. How did labor get more power? Employers would like their employees to come back to the office 5 days a week. Wait, when did that happen? Hello? Because I didn't get that memo.
Can you talk to that, Steph? Because Mark Andreessen has been out there basically talking about his, vocalizing his disgust at the left, how they demand you donate all your money, at the end of your life, your money that you've worked so hard to amass that you can't.
No one is asking regular people to donate all their money, okay? But these billionaires, my God, listen, there does come a point when you reach a certain amount of money that you're no longer happy or satisfied. And I get it. All of us, hey, look, a little extra in our hip back pocket will make us happy. But these billionaires, do you want to know what the story is about all of them? All of them are miserable. They're not happy. The key thing is they're not happy. They're empty. They're empty inside.
You have.
And I notice on the top there, they got the Billionaire Boys Club, right? And I get it. Hey, look, everyone's got to be inclusive here. But a Billionaire Girls Club, would they be any different? Because we've seen our fair share of women in politics and women in positions of power that could be just as cruel, just as vile, just as corrupt as any guy. See, it works both ways. Diversity, we did it. Everybody can be corrupt. Everybody, if you're a billionaire or you're part of that system, you can be just as corrupt. Doesn't matter.
You're being publicly shamed for wanting to be a capitalist, essentially. Have you sensed in the last, let's call it 10 years, that there was this bubbling insurrection coming from the tech world, from the business world, that the Democrats didn't have their ear to the ground enough, I guess, to understand the resentment that was building that seems to have found a house in Donald Trump's MAGA world?
I think it's more than just Donald Trump's MAGA world. I think you could talk to a lot of people in Fortune 500 companies, people in C-suites, and definitely labor in the last 4 years got a lot more power, right? Most CEOs that I speak to in the last 4 years sure as hell would like their employees to come back 5 days a week, right? That's not a surprise. Right. We work at a company that would certainly like its employees to come back 5 days a week. Right?
I'm here 4 days.
But we also know that, to the office,
yes.
Right? They're done with work from home. And while lots of companies say, yes, diversity, equity, inclusion, they're really happy about it. However, many CEOs, not these guys, would say it became something we were talking about every possible minute. That's exhausting. But the level that they are taking this to is nonsense. Yesterday, the FT had this article. This one was really about Wall Street. Wall Street is excited for this new, business environment under Donald Trump. And
they were doing just fine under Biden too. What that is that they're more excited that Trump's just going to really let them go hog wild. You think Biden regulated them? No. You think Biden's going to hold them accountable? Ever held them accountable? No. All this talk of, Biden's bad for business. No. What it was able to keep people to shut up for a while. This is going to be a perfect opportunity to see some fake protests, And we remember Me Too, Time's Up, Black Lives Matter, and a couple other organizations too. Prepare yourselves to see some other clone copy talking about these billionaires, talking about how we got to protest, talking about how we got to stop them from doing this and that and whatsoever. That's the fun that lies in store once Trump is sworn in. The fake outrage, which I see happening. Will it have the same impact that it had in 2016? No, but it'll be there. Prepare for the wave of the pink pussy hats. They're going to be all over the place.
And there's business reasons why they feel good about it, right? The Fortune 500 world did not like Lena Khan. They didn't feel good about Gary Gensler. They didn't feel like business, America was open for business. However, there was a quote in the FT article from a very brave, anonymous senior banker who said, finally, we get to go back. We can start using the R word and the P word in the office. It's a new dawn.
Right.
Did anybody really say that? Look, I get it. Listen, if you've seen your fair share of, stories and you hear it all, but I mean, come on. I think somebody just said, hey, Bobby, we can finally use the R word and P word again. Somebody walked in my office and said, I'd be like, dude, get the hell out of my office before I slap you. Say it again, lady.
The FT article from a very brave, anonymous senior banker who said, finally, we get to go back. We can start using the R word and the P word in the office.
Are you sure somebody said that? Like, who said? Seriously, tell me who said that. All right? I'm not doubting. I'm just questioning the veracity of the story, okay? Because it just seems far too cartoonish. Hold on. Hang on. We're going to do acting. 3, 2, 1. Finally, Evil Kit has returned. And under my watch, we're going to use the R word and the P word for the next 4 years. And all what everyone's going to do is just shut up. Yes, folks, Evil Kit returned. Just for that one moment.
We get to go back. We can start using the R word and the P word in the office. It's a new dawn.
Right.
Well, my message to that very brave and very bold banker who is anonymous, give me a break.
Right.
No, none of that is not coming back to any company in America. No company that respects itself. And it's not that there's a dying need that we want to get back to misogyny. That's just stupidity.
Yes.
So the level they're taking this to is simply too far. But yes, the pendulum is set to swing back somewhat. Lots of people feel like, you know what, we got too worked up about things. I'm not going to say the word woke because I think that's silly, but there is an element of it. But where they are, it makes no sense.
It's somewhere else.
Yes.
Yes. Or, it's everything else in between. So these are the people who are crying about oligarchy. These are the people who are crying about Biden leaving. These are the people who are saying that, oh no, we're under tyranny. No. The purpose of this late evening live stream is to remind you and give you guys the tools necessary to know this. And you're going to have to take on this social responsibility too. Educate your friends and family, your neighbors. We don't have a democracy. We are a constitutional republic, and even then, what do we have when we have representatives and senators that can be bought by dark money, by corporations, by Wall Street? What do we have if it's been like this for decades under previous Democratic and Republican presidents? I'll tell you what it is. It's an oligarchy. And this is something myself, what we've been doing here for Hardlens Media, Jimmy Dore, RBN, INN, Dude Dissidents, so many others. And yes, even those across the aisle in the political spectrum, my fellow libertarians, and yes, even conservative commentators have brought this up. We are under an oligarchy. So just because, right now you have corporate media showing Donald Trump and Elon Musk, those two are the Saturday morning cartoon villains. They're nothing new. Talk about the other billionaires, the other institutions that for decades have been hiding in the light. We want to build real change. It's going to have to require all of us to step up. But there's a lot of people in this country that aren't serious, that still think that this is the end, that Trump is Hitler 2.0. That's not the case. And whether or not we are successful in ending this system, whether or not we are successful in breaking this thing apart, depends on how we represent ourselves and how we educate other people. Vigilance is key. But on the top note, which should make all of you happy, CNN's going broke, man. I mean, my God, back to where we started from. CNN going broke. I mean, they're under financial, and viewership decline. That's their problem. They are failing here. I mean, they are losing money. They don't have a plan. So what lies in store? And they got a lot of anxieties here. CNN, as a multi-billion-dollar organization, are only bringing in very low numbers for viewership, and ad revenue is drying up. I want to say I feel sorry for them, but since CNN, MSNBC, and other corporate media outlets contributed to the first adpocalypse, and I talked about this with Jamal Thomas on the show early this morning, which, by the way, again, huge shout out to Joseph D, who said this morning's show was hella good. I'm just saying, yeah, that adpocalypse really impacted a lot of us in the YouTube sphere, independent media sphere. It was forever that major gut check that upended everything. And now CNN finally getting its just vengeance put upon it because people are no longer watching their content. It might have taken a while, but it's long overdue. But if you thought that the show was over just yet, wait a minute, folks. I promise you guys some fun. You had a chance to rage out just a little bit. And again, thank you everyone for your generosity, but we're not going anywhere yet. I like to call this the evening smoke. The evening smoke, where the boss will say, hey, listen, you got to go back to work. But no, you don't. No, you don't. You don't have to go back to work just yet. Because if you're working a late evening shift, we deserve a little science. And I, for one, love science. Go ahead. I see what you're doing. Okay. Okay. My future ex-wives. Love you too, ladies. Love you too. Then of course, these are words of wisdom. Words of wisdom that puts a smile to my face.
I always try to make his penis hard, not his life. Yeah, correct. Yeah,
It's very valid.
yes,
Yeah.
make his dick hard, not his life.
Mhm.
So he will make your pussy wet, not your eyes.
And it's on TikTok. Do we want to get rid of TikTok after we can lose such great philosophical statements here? Okay? Come on.
I always try to make his penis hard,
Exactly.
not his life.
Yes.
Yeah, correct. Yeah,
It's very valid.
yes,
Yeah.
make his dick hard, not his life.
Yes.
So he will make your pussy wet, not your eyes.
Exactly. Exactly. And then, of course, my favorite server. Yes. Yes. More. Yes. More.
야실이. 야, 그 19세 그 19급?
Yes.
너무 좋아하는데?
But then again, too, hey, sometimes manners, it's not always done the same way, but every generation has their own way.
小孩儿都喝啤。
That both require a big tip. So there you go. And then finally, just to make your evening very important, notice, and by the way, viewer discretion should be advised, this horrific animal attack.
What are you doing? Lucky, what are you doing to me?
Now that's a that's absolutely beautiful. And then finally, a work of art. No, it's not anything I could draw, but it should inspire you. Let's zoom in closer. Zoom in closer, shall we? Behold, a yacht sinking and the orcas playing. Don't you get it, folks? 2025. It's going to be a year of success for us all, okay? 2025 is going to be a good year for every single one of us. So I want to thank all of you so much for joining us. Thank you, everyone, for your kind super chats and generosity. We do appreciate it all the time, every time. And we will be live Monday morning, 9 a.m. Central. And yes, there might be a special live stream if you guys behave yourselves, okay? But until then, my lovelies, my mornings, my sunshines, we do have to move on. We do have to end. I do have to mosey on down the Fury Road. I got some music by Jesse Jet, of course. And I got to tell you, folks. The 4 years under Biden were one hell of a ride. Let's see where the 4 years under Trump lead us, all right? And chances are it's going to be a crazy ride, too. So we got some music by Jesse Jet. My name is Kit. This has been a late evening rant. Patreon supporters, I will owe you a very special video, okay? I promise you guys that. A promise is a promise. It's just I got very angry, and I wanted to rage out with all of you. So, peace, take care, much love, and here's some music by Jesse.
I guess this isn't such an awful place. Is that what you want me to say? You prove it's possible to sleep for days and to still think you're right here awake. The cost of living isn't much to make, but God, it's so hard to save. And when they told you everything was safe, were you safe? Were you safe? Were you safe? Were you safe? I guess this isn't such an awful place. Is that what you want me to say? You prove it's possible to sleep for days and to still think you're right here awake. The cost of living isn't much to make, but God, it's so hard to say. And when they told you everything was safe, were you safe? Were you safe? Were you safe? Were you safe?
Fresh off the masses, the brand new cancerous growth, who has come here to vie for your vote. Come here to cry at the camps and to mourn at the shore for the bodies that float by the wreck of an immigrant boat. Then it's back to their luxury home, couple security booths and a moat. Couple cigars, little escargot, little booze and a soak. Just breathe in the steam and the smoke. Pink salt, lavender, candles are low. Shit, when you do what you do, gotta lighten the load. And he got a life of his own that's a sight to behold. And it's a lot to control, to decipher the code, or to siphon the soul. The cost of a good night's sleep for the working elite is a bargain, no matter the toll. Worth any wager, and that comes straight from the mouth of the means to the goal that will swallow us whole. Right through the picking, if you don't mind mold, and you know I don't. Maybe we're pleasantly prone, maybe we're taking a licking, compliantly ticking and ticking and ticking, but never explode. No, I don't deliver the prettiest image, but damn if it isn't an accurate vision of natural fission, of rage at the system and abject heartbreak, patiently waiting for any who will listen. That little blue bird who was watching your words is a federal carrier pigeon, a Langley first. It's a patient observer who hears what it wants and is trained for the worst. Oh, you got nothing to hide. They'll be the ones to decide that after they root through your purse, after they read all your text, after they raid your apartment, confiscate all of its contents, then conjure up evidence out of the air on a wing and a prayer and malicious intelligence nonsense. Any presumption of innocence long since gone, right along with your comforts and constants. Historically first they will come for the communists. So why in the fuck would I say I'm a communist? Well, it might be I love my community more than the monsters of opulence who are holding us hostage, who are vomiting promises. Might be I'm all done seeing our pensions and benefits harvested. Might be I'm all done watching the populace being disarmed in the guise of an armistice. Watching a woman collapse on the floor who will rise no more. She's wheeled out the door and you're next in line for the pharmacist. If you can get me to vote, it's a hard no confidence. But part of the charm of deception is politics wearing the mask of incompetence. It's all in the art of austerity, darling. It's all in the slide of the providence. Until home is as wide as your cubicle height and it's only as deep as your coffin is. Maybe I'm miles away from impatience, aching to break off the head of the snake where the capital lust, reptile brain, and the margin of profit is. Like off with his. Like off with his.
I guess this isn't such an awful place. Is that what you want me to say? You prove it's possible to sleep for days and to still think you're right here awake. The cost of living isn't much to make, but God, it's so hard to save. And when they told you everything was safe, were you safe?
No. Oh no.
What do you do here? Surprise? Why don't you come on out here? Let's talk for a minute.
Go back inside.
Of all places, you show up in front of my house. You know why I'm here. Need a name.
Don't do it.
Look, nobody tells me anything, so I can't give you a name.
Don't do it.
Well, what I do know is that we have you for gun charges. We've got you for drug charges. We've got you for RICO. So why don't you just go on ahead and give me a name, man?
No.
Sing, little canary, sing.
No.
You want a name?
Don't do it.
It's Trey.
God damn it. Why?
Hey, yo. Kenny running his motherfucking mouth.
Don't.
Handle that, boy.
Don't do
Get
it.
on it now. This one goes out to all them snitches out there who running their mouth when they should keep their mouth closed.
Gotta keep my mouth closed.
Trey 3. Let's get it. That snitch. 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 That snitch shoot him in his head. That snitch dropped it to the feds. That